मुझे अत्यंत खुशी हुई है कि आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स की स्कीम है को स्ट्राइक डाउन करके उस पर टोटल प्रतिबंध लगा दिया है और डायरेक्शन दिया है इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया को कि स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया से सब डिटेल्स लेके अपने वेबसाइट पे इन कंपनीज के डोनेशंस के बारे में पब्लिश करें। ये अत्यंत ही आवश्यक था। प्रजातंत्र को ये खत्म करने वाली स्कीम थी, एक पार्टी के हित में थी, ऑपोजिशन को क्रश करने के लिए थी और जिस तरह से एनोनिमसली कॉरपोरेशंस पैसा डोनेट कर रहे थे, इसका मतलब यही था कि रूलिंग पार्टी को बेनिफिट करने के लिए स्कीम बनाई गई थी। बहुत अच्छा हुआ, प्रजातंत्र की ये जीत है और मैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट को इस आवश्यक स्टेप के लिए धन्यवाद देता हूं।
The Supreme Court has struck down the electoral bond scheme, comprehensively struck it down, and all the provisions that were made to bring it into effect in the Income Tax Act, in the Companies Act, etc., everything has been struck down. They have held that this violates the fundamental right to information of citizens to know about who is contributing this much money to political parties, etc. They have also struck down the amendment made which allowed unlimited political contribution being made by companies to political parties. So, not only the electoral bond scheme but also the amendment which removed the restrictions on political contributions by companies, which were that you cannot contribute more than 7.5% of your annual profit by way of political contributions. That has also been struck down as violating the level playing field in a democracy. So the petitions filed by us have been comprehensively allowed by the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court has unanimously struck down the electoral bond amendments. Most importantly, before the scheme, the amendments which were the basis of the scheme have been struck down from different enactments like the Income Tax Act, etc. And the Supreme Court's view was, which is fundamentally they agreed with our submissions, that this is public information is essential for the functioning of a democracy, and therefore the public has a right to know who is funding their political parties. And if the public is denied that right, then that defeats the whole functioning of democracy itself. And therefore the amendments which were introduced to ensure anonymity of the scheme have been struck down. And based on that, consequently, the scheme itself has been struck down. That's number one. Number two, what was that there was the cap, which was the corporate cap, that even loss-making companies could now donate under the electoral bond scheme without any limit. That also has been struck down because the court was of the view that clearly a loss-making company or unlimited corporate funding is not healthy for a democracy, because those kind of donations will be made only for quid pro quo or to get benefit rather than genuine corporate donations for functioning of a democratic setup. So those were the two big findings, but broadly the Supreme Court has agreed with all our prayers.